Hey, what's up, everybody? You're now tuned into T.
And
And it's your girl, Jazzy J.N.
My Diesel.
And we in the building, y'all. We are back at it again. Please make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe and share. Thank y'all so much for coming through and checking out the channel, y'all. We really appreciate all the love, fam. We really do. All right,
man,
what we got
y'all
going
the family,
today?
Y'all the family. We want to send y'all good night with some love, some positive that come out of a horrible type of a ruckus. So the city of Philadelphia reaches $2 million settlement with Rakia Young, who's a woman who was beaten by police during the unrest protesting. She wasn't protesting. People was outside protesting for Walter Wallace Jr. Y'all may remember Walter Wallace Jr. He was killed by police in less than a minute after they arrived at his home, and he was having a mental crisis. Police got there, pretty much shot him, killed him. People went out to the street, protested. She was just driving along, and, you can see from the video what all happened to Miss Rakia.
Yeah. So Miss Rakia Young, this is what the article said. They reached a $2 million settlement with her. What they did was, just like Babe said, she was driving through and she ended up getting in the middle of a protest by accident, trying to pick up her nephew. They busted out all of her windows. They pulled her 2-year-old child out of the car along with her 16-year-old nephew. They beat her, arrested her, all kind of stuff. So that was awful, absolutely awful. And to top that off, she said the part that, her bones can heal, everything can heal. But she said the worst part was that a video went viral of an officer right here, this lady right here, holding her child.
Yeah.
And the police put out this article and said, the police are your friend. We just saw this little boy wandering around with no shoes on and we went and saved him. We saved his life. We're here to help y'all. We're not here to fight y'all. We want to help. So pretty much they just lied when really they broke out her windows, beat the mom in front of the 2-year-old child, who is deaf, by the way. He's hearing impaired, terrified him, and then made it look like this little boy was just wandering barefoot along the streets of the protest.
Man, that's horrible, man.
Isn't that crazy?
Man, that's horrible.
That you could flip that and spin that story like that?
You're going to spin it.
Man.
That's the correct word. You're
absolutely crazy. They just
grabbed the mom out, beat her ass, and then I saved the baby.
And the 16-year-old nephew.
You was the trauma.
Exactly.
You was the demon.
You traumatized this child, and that's exactly right.
You're the one that put the mom in danger.
Yeah. So that just shows you how police love to have a narrative. Like, if they can do anything to spin it in a way that they want to spin it, they will.
Yeah.
They 100%
no, you
will.
Didn't.
So
you pulled the mom out.
Exactly.
That baby wasn't just wandering in the street.
Exactly. So what they did to her was just, man, there's no way to make up for that. And then what they did to her child, there's no way to make up for that. But what we will say, the only positive right now out of this is that Rakia Young has the highest settlement reached ever with a person that still survived a police beating. So anybody that survived a police beating that actually lived has gotten nothing or nowhere near what she got. So this is a record settlement, but a settlement is not enough.
For Philadelphia.
I think they said in the United States, this is a record settlement. Yeah, in the U.S., this is historical. She is the one that has the highest for anybody that's ever lived. Now, people that have died, that's different. They've gotten more, but somebody that's lived. But what we will say is none of these officers were charged. 2 of them were fired, but that's not enough. We all know cops can go get a job anywhere.
Next county over.
Exactly.
Next city over.
That 100% is not enough. We need these officers prosecuted. And I see that she didn't use like the Ben Crump lawyer. She had her own lawyer, and she actually got, some justice. I'm not saying that Ben Crump don't give people justice, but I see that she went a different way with a lawyer, a black lawyer as well. But he is still going after these cops as well. So we are praying for Miss Rakia Young. We're glad that she at least got monetary compensation. But what they did to her child and her, that can never be made up for.
Yeah, that can't be undone.
That can't be undone. But the positive is that she's alive. She's alive to talk about her story. Her son is alive, her nephew is alive, and we thank God for that. We all praises to the Most High for keeping them safe.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
Next is prosecution. We want to share this story because the more that we put these things out, the more that the police can't hide, and the more that their people are going to demand justice.
That's
if
right.
people don't know about it, they can just sweep it under the rug, which they have been doing.
And that's what they try to do.
Exactly.
They really want to try to give you some money.
Exactly.
When they're in the wrong.
So you won't talk about it no more.
So you can't try to, because that's the whole caveat of
Exactly.
everything. We gave you the money, can't talk about it, charges are dropped. I don't know if that's the case in this, but we've seen many cases where it's been a civil suit first versus the criminal suit.
Right.
Now, like somebody like Isaiah McClain.
Elijah McClain. Yeah.
I would say Isaiah. But Elijah McClain, his family went the opposite way. They sought out the criminal first, and then they're gonna do the civil.
Right.
And remember, it used to be that was automatic. Normally you go that way. I don't know what Miss Rakia did in this situation, but I'm glad she did get some monetary payment. I'm glad that she is alive. I'm glad her family is alive.
Yes.
But like she said, it's not about the money. Those scars won't go away. These police officers need to pay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what needs to happen. The scars won't go away. These police officers need to pay.
Yeah.
And to all the families who know that the system betrays them, betrays us as a whole, I understand, going with a civil suit and settling before criminal charges come. I understand that. You know what I'm saying? That's no problem. I'm not trying to shun nobody or anything like that. Not whatsoever. There's no buts to that. Now, I would love to see these criminals, police officers, go to jail.
Exactly.
Before, after, at some point, any type of thing. And a lot of times, the family is needed to have that happen.
Yeah. Every time, definitely.
That's all. A lot of times, sometimes we can see the evidence and it's clear as day. A lot of times we do need the family to be able to have that voice, that emotion, and to be able to speak as well. And I understand.
Yeah.
I understand.
Exactly. Like sometimes we know that all the family is going to get from the system is monetary value. But we also know that
or nothing at all.
Yeah, that does not make up for what happened. And the system needs to be broken down and put back together in the fact that people need to be prosecuted, charged. Let's just say you killed a police officer, you're facing life in prison. So why aren't police officers held with a higher standard? They should be held at a higher standard because they do have that type of power.
Yeah, they're supposed to be protect and serve,
exactly.
Not police enforcement, law enforcement.
Exactly.
Like when they change the name up.
Exactly. So what we will say is the Most High is working and these people are getting out. Things are happening. So positive change is coming. We're going to keep pushing. We're going to keep sharing. Everybody comment below on what you think about this case, what you think should happen. We appreciate y'all for listening and thank y'all so much for tuning in to and we out, y'all. Peace.
Who said she was beaten by Philadelphia police last year in front of her child has reached a settlement with the city. Rakia Young agreed to a multi-million-dollar settlement. Young's lawyers say last October she picked up her nephew in West Philly and was driving down Chestnut Street when police ordered her to turn her vehicle around because of a protest. Her lawyers say as she turned her vehicle around, officers swarmed her car and smashed her windows. They claim officers also pulled her 16-year-old nephew and her 2-year-old son from the car while beating her. Her lawyers also announced a lawsuit against the National FOP after they allegedly posted a picture of her son with a false caption.
Our physical injuries may heal, but the pain of seeing those images of my son in the arms of an officer and that horrible caption written to describe that picture may never heal.
Now, the officers involved have not been charged, but Young's attorneys are calling on the DA's office to immediately file criminal charges against the officers responsible.